Hello everyone, my name is Uthman today and I'll be answering discussion topics question 1 and 2. So let's get started. Question number 1. What is an organization and what characteristics do organizations share? An organization is a structured social unit composed of individuals working in an organized manner to realize certain objectives or goals. Whether business, school, or nonprofit in nature, all organizations exist to achieve some form of shared goals with efficiency. There are three characteristics all organizations share: goal, people, and structure. A great example is Tesla, led by Elon Musk. Tesla's purpose is to accelerate the world's shift to sustainable energy, a clear mission that guides every decision. Its people include engineers, designers, and workers who turn that vision into reality through innovation and teamwork. Finally, Tesla's structure organizes these people into specialized departments, like manufacturing, design, and marketing, all working together under Musk's leadership to achieve the company's mission. Now, for question number 2, roles define the manager. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Discuss what you think managers do. In my opinion, I take a balanced view on the idea that roles define the manager. Yes, roles provide structure. They outline what a manager should do, like planning, organizing, and coordinating work. But as Duke Leto says in Dune 1, a great man doesn't seek to lead, he's called to it and he answers. I think this applies perfectly to managers. The best managers aren't just defined by their titles or job descriptions, they rise to challenges, motivate their teams, and lead by example. So while roles help define expectations, it's a manager's character, leadership, and actions that truly define who they are. Managers are individuals in an organization who direct and oversee the activities of other people in the organization so organizational goals can be accomplished. Managers differ from non-managerial employees because their main responsibility is to direct and coordinate the work of others, not just perform individual tasks. For example, at Tesla, Elon Musk acts as a top manager, setting the strategic direction and vision for sustainable energy. Middle managers ensure these strategies are turned into concrete plans, like production targets or engineering projects. And first line managers oversee daily operations, ensuring employees stay on track and work efficiently. In essence, a manager's success comes from helping others perform effectively, so the organization achieves its overall goals. Now, my partner will take over and answer questions 3 to 5.
Hi everyone, my name is Lavanya and I'll be explaining discussion questions 3, 4, and 5. So let's start with question 3. In today's environment, which is more important to organizations, efficiency or effectiveness? Explain your choice. So my answer is, in my opinion, effectiveness is more important in today's environment. This is because if an organization is more effective, its ability to achieve high goals will increase significantly. In today's developing environment, it is more crucial for organizations to reach their goals and satisfy customers rather than just saving time or money. For example, a company can be very efficient in production, but if it doesn't meet the customer's needs, it is still considered unsuccessful. This proves that while efficiency helps reduce costs, effectiveness ensures that the organization does the right things to achieve its main goals. Now let's move on to question 4. Are there any differences in the managerial functions for a profit organization and a not-for-profit organization? So my answer is yes, there are some differences between the managerial functions of a for-profit organization and a not-for-profit organization, because in a profit organization, managers mainly focus on clear and measurable goals such as profits, and their main purpose is to increase revenue, reduce costs, and maximize the bottom line. This makes it easier to determine the performance of the organization, as financial results directly shows how well the organization is doing. On the other hand, for not-for-profit organizations, profit is not used to measure success, as its main focus is community service. This makes performance measurement more difficult, as success is not based on monetary profit alone, but it's mainly about the impact and effectiveness to the organization's actions. So while both types of managers perform similar functions like planning, organizing, leading, and controlling, their goals and performance measures are very different. Now let's move on to question 5. Using any of the popular business periodicals, find examples of managers doing each of the 4 management functions. Write up a description and explain how these are examples of that function. So let's start with the first function, planning. For example, Howard Schultz's reinvention plan for Starbucks, the article by Bloomberg, highlights how Schultz, in his final return as interim CEO, focused on planning the company's future rather than just managing daily operations. So, how does this illustrate planning? Basically, Schultz launched a reinvention strategy that involves closing underperforming stores, investing billions to upgrade equipment and facilities, enhancing employee and customer experiences, and shifting Starbucks' focus from rapid growth to quality and sustainability. Planning involves setting objectives and determining the best course of action to achieve them. Schultz demonstrated this by setting clear goals to reinvent Starbucks, defining strategies to achieve those goals, and developing a long-term plan to guide the company to a new chapter. Now let's move on to the second function, organizing. So for example, ESPN's chairman Jimmy Pitaro is reorganizing the network for the streaming era. This article by Fortune describes how ESPN is fundamentally reshaping its structure and operations to evolve from a cable-based sports network into a multi-platform digital powerhouse. So how exactly does this illustrate organizing? Pitaro led a large-scale reorganization of ESPN's business model, creating new digital divisions, developing streaming products like ESPN Plus, and the upcoming flagship direct-to-consumer service, and restructuring how sports rights and resources are allocated. He also introduced new roles focused on digital content, technology, and global engagement, ensuring ESPN reaches fans across every platform. Organizing involves assembling and coordinating resources, people, finances, and technology in order to achieve strategic goals. Pitaro's approach shows this clearly how he restructured the organization to align with the new goals, allocated resources strategically across products, and redefined workflow roles to support ESPN's digital transformation. Now let's move on to the third function, leading. For example, flattening hierarchies, NVIDIA's bold new blueprint for leadership. This article by People Matters Global highlights how Jensen Huang, co-founder and CEO of NVIDIA, leads through a hands-on, highly involved approach that emphasizes accessibility, technical engagement, and a culture of innovation. So how does this illustrate leading? Huang maintains a flat organizational structure, personally communicates with employees across all levels, and involves himself in product and engineering discussions. His leadership style fosters rapid innovation, open communication, and a strong sense of communication between management and staff. Leading involves motivating, influencing, and guiding people towards organizational goals, and Huang demonstrates this by using accessibility and passion to inspire his teams, setting high standards to drive performance, and communicating a clear vision that shapes NVIDIA's culture of excellence and innovation. Now let's move on to the final function, controlling. For example, how Samsung moved beyond its exploding phones. This article by the Washington Post tells us how, after reports of phones catching fire, Samsung launched a massive investigation involving 700 engineers and over 200,000 devices to find the root cause. The company discovered defective batteries from 2 suppliers and introduced an 8-point battery safety check, stricter supplier oversight, and a new quality control processes to prevent future failures. So how does this illustrate controlling? Controlling involves monitoring performance, comparing results to standards, and taking corrective action when deviations occur. Samsung demonstrated this by identifying a gap between its safety standards and actual performance, then taking the corrective steps, recalling devices, reforming testing procedures, and informing new quality standards to restore product reliability and customer trust. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, now let's enter to the task 2. Task 2, case summarize. Hello, my name is Loyin Chi. Now we are going to present the summarize of case 1, which is training better manager now at Walmart. Okay, now allow me to start with the point 1. Point 1, background. Walmart is the world's largest retailer that has operating more than 11,700 stores in 28 countries, and they have around 2.3 million employees. Therefore, the Walmart has generated more than $485.3 billion in their annual renewable, and Walmart have more than $13 billion in their profit. Okay, just like I said just now, the Walmart have very huge number of employees, therefore they always facing barriers or issue. Point 2, issue. Due to the huge number of employees, Walmart always facing barriers or employees-related issues such as the visit policy and wage concern. Therefore, the Walmart has to find the solution to overcome these problems so that the company will have a better future. Point 3, solution. Since 2016, Walmart had created the Walmart Academy training program to help those low-level managers to succeed in their career. And the program is very successful that many people have go through the training. Therefore, point four, development. Now they still have around 100 academies operating around the United States, and they have more than 150,000 supervisors and development managers have complete the week-long training. They're willing to go to the training because the training is teach us very much of skill they needed to manage the company well. Therefore, I will explain in point 5. Point 5 skill included the training topic including the advanced research skill and managerial skill. The advanced research skill included the merchandising, ordering, and inventory control skill, while the managerial skill including the communication skill and the employee motivation skill that needed by the manager to manage the company well. Okay, Haikal, please continue to point 6. Okay, that's all for me.
Hello, my name is Adam Haikal bin Ismail and I am from Management Group 1, and right now I will talk about case application 1, training better managers. Okay, in the 6th point, the training program aim to create a consistently positive in-store shopping experience and stay competitive against online retailers. And the next one, in order to enhance service quality, Walmart started creating well-trained and engaging workforce with manager training. The trained managers will pass on their knowledge to employees, guiding them to deliver attentive and customer-oriented service. And the ninth, unlike Walmart invest heavily in employee training and raising wages, many companies neglect developing their managers and staff. However, investing in manager training is important as they play a vital role in employee motivation and engagement. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Adam Tan and I'll be presenting my answers for discussion question 1 to 10. First of all, I believe a company will want their employees in the lower level management to be successful because it benefits the company greatly. They are the link between the upper management and the non-managerial employees. Thus, when these managers perform amazingly well, the company as a whole becomes more efficient and effective. Lower level managers are responsible for overseeing day-to-day operation, making sure that every production and function works smoothly. Other than that, the lower level managers are the foundation to a company's overall performance, which is why I believe they are bound to plan, organize, lead and control the non-managerial employees. By introducing this Walmart Academy training program, lower level managers are able to plan daily operation, set achievable goals, and allocate resources wisely. Apart from that, they are able to delegate tasks fairly to every employee, structure an effective team while motivating and monitoring every action in order to make sure all employees maintain a good morale and keep growing towards the company goal. Lastly, they are the same ones who ensures the company standards are always met and resolve issues quickly. This is why it is important for lower level managers to grow and become successful because it doubles the employee performance and retention, making higher productivity and smoother operation possible. And the bottom line is become a stronger leader that leads the employee. Thank you. A training program such as the Walmart Academy training program that is introduced to help lower level management brings a lot of benefits to a company, but it also comes with few challenges. Let's talk about the benefits. First of all is the alignment with organizational goals. By having a well-designed training program such as the Walmart Academy training program introduced to the employees, it ensures that the employees understand the company's mission and vision clearly. When the training content is related to the company's objective, employees are able to see how their individual roles contribute to the bigger picture and understand that they are the company's greatest asset. This training program doesn't just help foster a unified direction across all the departments, but also lead the employees to a more consistent decision making and improve overall performance.
The second benefit is improved customer service. Undergoing such a training program would equip the employees with the proper knowledge that they need and interpersonal skills required to serve customers throughout their whole career. Employees will be taught on how to communicate professionally and solve critical problems. This way, they are able to meet the customer needs and improve the company rating. Nonetheless, having a superior customer service will create a stronger company reputation and customer loyalty. Lastly, will be improved teamwork and collaboration. Training program doesn't just build individual skills, but also aim to strengthen how people work together. Training programs often include team-based learning activities that aim to foster a relationship among employees. Employees will be trained on how to work as a group, share knowledges, and rely on one another. This creates a more cooperative and productive work environment that contributes to the company's long-term success. Despite all of those countless benefits, the training program also comes with few challenges with it. The first challenges would be cost and scarce resources. While Walmart has a good intention and has spent billions and billions of dollars on training the employees, there is no doubt that it comes with a huge financial burden that can be difficult to maintain over a period of time, especially when some of the managers are not showing any improvement at all. Second would be limited time availability. An academic training program doesn't take a couple of days to achieve what they wanted, but it takes weeks after weeks of consistent training to complete what their main objectives are. Which is why I believe not all managers are able to attend because they must leave their stores for weeks and weeks to complete the training, which can disrupt all of the operation and require some temporary replacement in the store. Lastly, adaptability. It is safe to say that not all managers are able to apply what they have learned once they return to their store. This is because the retail environment changes over time due to technology and different customer expectation. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Wei Jing. I'll start 1.12. What additional managerial topics might you suggest be covered in Walmart's academic training program? Think in terms of 3 ways to look at what managers do. We can look at managers in 3 ways: managing informations, managing people, managing actions. First, managing informations with AI literacy. Managers can learn how artificial works. Since Walmart use digital tools, AI can help them to manage information better. For instance, AI can help them interpret sales data, forecast customer demands, optimize inventories, and digital dashboard visualization tools like decision makings will be faster and also more accurate. Secondly, managing people and political skills. Managers have to build good relationships and influence others. They have to understand the workplace environments and also communicate effectively with the employers and also employees. They have to resolve every conflict easily. So political skills will help managers to get resources from their team and also get better decisions. If the Walmart staff have any mistakes, they have to have a good behavior and also stay calm to solve their problems. Thirdly, managers' actions benchmarking. Benchmarking allows Walmart to measure their performance against internal standard and competitors. Managers can learn both internal and external best practice. For example, if Walmart faces challenges in its strategy, managers can review how competitors handle similar situations and also learn from the top performing stores. Benchmarkings will help Walmart to stay competitive and also continuously improve. By managing actions through benchmarkings, managers can identify areas from improvements and compare performance with others. It will adopt best practice and ensure that companies will remain effective and innovative. Next, I will present question 1.13. Many college graduates are reluctant to pursue a career in retail organizations, even in the world's largest. Discuss how a company like Walmart could attract talented graduates. Firstly, Walmart provides graduates with a clear career pathway from entry role to managerial role. Programs such as Walmart Academics and Live Better You have offered the mentorships and trainings for their important areas. For example, graduates who want to have retail management, for them to rotate through merchandising, data analysis, supply chain, and store operations. This will help them to build important skills and prepare for future exclusive roles. According to Maslow's hierarchies of needs, graduates will seek for those self-actualizations and also want to reach their full potentials. So Walmart's support this need by helping employees to grow step by step on a career. So Walmarts will attract graduates who want long-term developments. Secondly, Walmarts attract talents by offering high pay and strong benefits. For full-time jobs, they start above $50,000 per year, providing a strong financial security. Walmart cares about their physical well-being, so they offer medical coverage starting from $38 bi-weekly, including dental, visions, and preventions of care. For emotional support, Walmart provide free conditional counselings under their employer assessments of their programs. Financial securities is also support through their stock purchase plan and also employee discounts. So these benefits will let graduates feel support and value at the beginning of their careers. Thirdly, Walmart promotes cultural environments. Many graduates want to work in companies which have respect diversities and also provide those equal opportunities. Walmart will practice everyone included cultures where employees will have different backgrounds, feel welcomed and respect. Managers are trained for their cultural sensitivities and unconscious bias through the Walmart's Learning Academics. This has a strong teamwork that makes Walmart will be attractive for graduates who enjoy working with diverse people. Lastly, Walmart has strong global reputations on employer branding. It has ranked number one for Fortune's Global 500 list for 11 years. It proved that the success and also credibilities. Walmart also support the social responsibilities, such as sustainability programs, company support, charities, and disaster relief. They have Walmart's brand image as a company has invested in society. Naturally, it makes every graduate will feel the way that they are respected from the communities and also offers them for both opportunities and strong branding on public relationship. Overall, Walmarts have attracted graduates by offering the real career growth, high pay and benefits, supportive inclusive workplace culture, and employer branding. Now I'll move on to question 1.14. Does an organization have ethical responsibility to assist a new members of managers transition to their position? Why or why not? The answer is yes. Research shows that more than half of the employees leave their job because of untrained managers. Good trainings will help the new managers to make rational decision-making, follow the company rules, treat employees fairly. First, training in decision-making, managers can make choices that affect employees, customer, and company. Often, decisions are made under pressure with limited information, a concept called bounded rationalities. For example, a store manager in Walmart decide how many staff to schedule for a busy weekend. Without any guidance, they might have overstaff or understaff. Transitions support ensure that every decisions are rational and informed. Next, organizations have ethical responsibilities to help their managers to understand company rules. Organizations must help their new members of managers to understand rules, safety, and fairness. For example, a new manager in Walmart will learn how to handle workspace harassment compliance correctly. It also know how to address staff who break rules, standing firm to correct their behavior while staying those professional standard. Training ensure that they will follow the legal and also compliance by safety standard. This will help the companies of their managers to communicate fairly with their employers and also employees. It will manage them to have teams responsibilities and also keep the workspace in safe and also compliant. Finally, support the new members of managers was ethically important because it can help an organization to stay actively and fair in the long run. It supports new managers, increase confidence, decision making, and also trust. They will reduce those employee turnover, build those strong workspace culture, and also ensure that every promotions are fair and based on their own skills. For example,
Employees will see that dedications and performance leads to their career growth, which can motivate them for working harder. As a result, new managers will also develop strong leadership skills and handle those future challenges for more successfully, which can support those organizations actively and fairly over the long terms. In conclusions, support those new members of managers is not just helpful, but also ethically necessary. It ensures that every decisions are rational, aligned with the company rules, and promote long-term success and fairness with both employers and also organizations. Thank you.
Hello everyone, now my group will be presenting the second case application, which is managing without managers. Without wasting time, let's start our discussion today with a brief introduction about the company, which is Spotify. Spotify was established in 2008 by Daniel Ek in Sweden. It is one of the world's leading audio streaming and media service providers that change how people enjoy music, from buying songs to renting access to music. In a simple word, Spotify allows users to stream millions of songs anytime, anywhere without owning them. Moving on to management, Spotify applies a flat organizational structure. This structure removes many layers of traditional hierarchy, and it allows companies to respond to customer needs faster and adapt more quickly to the market changes. Beyond this management approach, Spotify further divides its organization into four smaller units, which are squads, tribes, chapters, and guilds in order to maximize efficiency and innovation. Firstly, we have the squads. Each squad is like a small, independent team that works on a specific mission or project. Within a squad, members have different skills but work together toward a shared goal. There's no traditional manager role in the squad. Instead, each squad is self-organized and guided by a product owner who helps set priorities and ensures the team stays on track. Next are the tribes, which are made out of several related squads working in similar areas. Each tribe has its own leader, and while tribes are autonomous, which means they work independently. In tribes, teamwork and new ideas are encouraged between the squads, but at the same time, Spotify also encourages squads and tribes to stay independent so that they can adapt to changes quickly.
So now we'll be moving on to the third level, which is the chapter. A chapter brings together people who have similar skills across different squads. For instance, all programmers or all designers. Unlike squads and tribes, chapter have more traditional management roles. They focus on staff development, performance, pay, and training. So chapters help keep professional standards consistent while still allowing squads to be flexible. And the final element is the guild. Guilds are informal, cross-tribes groups made up of employees with shared interests. They are completely voluntary and self-managed, meaning people join because they want to, not because they have to. Guilds allow staff from different areas to share ideas, learn from one another, and work on side projects they care about. This structure gives Spotify several advantages. It encourages creativity, teamwork, and innovation. Because employees have more control over their work, they feel more motivated and empowered. The company can also make faster decisions and adapt quickly to new technologies or market changes. However, this model isn't perfect. Without traditional managers, there can be coordination problems between the squads or the tribes. Sometimes, the lack of strict control can cause confusion or miscommunication. As Spotify grows larger, it becomes harder to keep everything organized and maintain consistency. In conclusion, Spotify has not only changed how we listen to music, but also how modern companies can be structured. Its approach combines freedom, creativity, and innovation with just enough structure to keep things running smoothly. It shows that successful management doesn't always need to follow the traditional rules. However, as Spotify continues to expand, it will need to balance flexibility and control to maintain its success. Thank you.
Now, here come the discussion question for case study 2. Who undertake management at Spotify? This question is very interesting as we are going to dive into one of the most interesting and unique organizational model in a modern business, management at Spotify. When you picture a large company, you usually envision a traditional hierarchy, a clear chain of command, but at Spotify, management work differently. As the slide clearly highlight, management is distributed and does not rely on a single traditional hierarchy. Instead, responsibilities are broken up and handled by several distinct roles within their unique structure, which is designed to foster autonomy and speed. This distributed approach defines management not as a one job title, but as a trifecta of responsibility. The first key role and the one that handle the most traditional management duty is the chapter leads. As the slide points out, the chapter leads focus on formal human-centric management. This is your personal advocate. Their core structure is unique. They manage people with similar skills like all the JavaScript developers, even though those developers are grouped across different project teams or known as squads. This ensures a clear career and a competent path. The chapter lead is your line manager, holding the most traditional management duties such as overseeing a staff member's developments, pay, and a career progression, including ensuring a clear lines of responsibilities for human resource matters. In essence, the chapter leads provide the nurturing environment and career oversight. This is crucial as it allows the individual squads to remain small, focused, and completely autonomous on their daily project work. They manage person. In our previous slide, we have discussed the chapter lead, who manage the person. Now, we shift our focus to the second core set of roles, which are those responsible for managing the work itself. This brings us to the product owner. The slide specifies that this role is responsible for managing the works and strategic alignment, not the people. The product owner focuses purely on the value being delivered and operate within the squad, the basic development unit. Inside that squad, that job is very clear. Their main function is focusing on prioritizing work. They determine which tasks provide the greatest value, and they are tasked with defining the mission and maximizing the squad's value output. They are the voice of the customer and the owner of the product backlog. This separation of duties, the chapter leads handling personals and the product owners handling products, is a fundamental pillar of the Spotify model's decentralized management philosophy. It creates a clear separation of concern, letting engineers focus on maximizing efficiency and delivery speed. The products owners, they manage the work. So as of now, we have covered the chapter leads for career growth and the product owner for task priority. The final piece is coordination, tribe leadership. As the slide indicates, tribe leaderships provide a broader strategic management focusing on overall strategy, not the daily tasks. Their responsibilities are centered on a high-level guidance. They are responsible for coordinating resources and ensuring strategic alignments across all constituent squads. They operate with minimal traditional oversight to respect the squad autonomy. They guide it, but they don't micromanage. Crucially, they actively discourage dependencies between squads to maintain organizational speeds and agility. The Spotify model, by decentralizing these three functions, which are the people chapter leads, works, the product owners, and strategy tribes leaderships, aims to keep its development unit autonomous and fast while still ensuring they are professionally supported and strategically aligned. Let's jump to the next discussion question. We have explored the roles, the chapter leads, product owners, and tribe leaderships. Now, let's address a critical management function. How might Spotify manage poorly performing individuals or teams? The process is highly structured and centered on growth, separating personal development from product delivery to allow for objective intervention. For individuals, all management responsibility falls to the chapter leads. As the slide shows, the process begins with a proactive coaching. Example, like continuous planning and one-to-one meetings. These are not just a status check. they are a coaching mechanism. The goal is diagnosing performance and immediately addressing issues, proactively preventing minor issues from escalating into a major problem. If continuous support isn't enough, the chapter lead moves to a formal process, which is the development talk. The chapter lead used this to execute a structured intervention. The assessment here is strictly objective and is assessed against mastery, achievement, and behavior criteria. This ensures that the conversation focus on measurable improvement, not blame. The outcome is to formalize a performance improvement plan, or also known as a PIP, setting clear measurement goal for a set period. The core philosophy is clear. The chapter lead's job is to ensure technical excellence by prioritizing proactive coaching before moving to a documented formal intervention. When an entire squad consistently fails to deliver on its missions, the management focus shifts from individual personal issues to a structural intervention. This process, driven by tribe leaderships, ensures accountability without resorting to blame. First, intervention and diagnosis. The process begins with an accountability shift to the tribe leaderships. This intervention is often triggered by the product owner when the squad repeatedly miss key deadlines. The tribe leaderships then conducts a data-driven diagnosis to determine the root cause of the failure. They utilize tools like talent intelligence, which is collective skills maps and performance data to facilitate objective decision making and identify why the structure failed. These diagnoses lead to structural correction options. They might use strategic resource reassignment, moving a person with a specific skills into a failing squad, or in extreme cases, they take drastic action by disbanding and rebuilding the squad with a better mix of skills, and the goal is structural correction, not to blame. Finally, the compensation review act as the ultimate level of accountability. By strategic decoupling the compensation process, they enforce a performance standard. Sustained poor results carry a financial consequence. This is the enforced principle that high achievement is required for financial progression. The final key question on the slide is: do you think this unique distributed management could be a systematic problem at Spotify? Why or why not? My answer is no, due to the built-in strengths and stability of the Spotify model. The model has core safeguards, which are: first, structural safeguard, no vacuum. By retaining the chapter leads, a dedicated role is always responsible for difficult people management tasks, preventing a management vacuum. Autonomy with alignment. Squad have high autonomy, but it always tethered to the business mission through tribe leadership, who will lead by context, not by control. And moving on, we got proactive skills, qualities, and continuous learning. Chapters ensure proactive skills quality is maintained across the organization, while goals promote continuous learning and knowledge sharing across the entire company. In conclusion, in summary, Spotify's management system is designed with strong complementary mechanisms that ensure accountability and support professional growth and ultimately maintain organizational speeds and agility. I hope that answers the question.
Are there any similarities to traditional management at Spotify? Firstly, the similarities to traditional management at Spotify are apparent in chapters, one of the key elements of their model. Chapters are more like conventional teams, where groups of people with similar backgrounds and skill sets work together and are led by a senior member of the group known as the chapter lead. A chapter lead serves as a line manager for chapter members with traditional responsibilities such as mentoring, skill development, performance management, recruitment, salary setting, and knowledge sharing within their craft. Apart from overseeing the works of others, the chapter lead is a part of the squad and is involved with day to day work. For example, web developers under the web developer chapter are led by a web developer chapter lead who oversees the development of their programming skills, staffing, salaries, and overall optimization of performance related to Spotify's platform. Furthermore, both traditional management and Spotify's value quality management. As we exist in a rapidly evolving technology world, Spotify needs to be able to react, change, and adapt its online content quickly. Spotify strikes balance between freedom and creativity in the workforce, delivering top-notch products with deadlines while meeting the overall goal of its business to unlock the potential of human creativity by providing consumers to access of millions of songs and other forms of audio content. Do you think that this approach to management will be effective at another company? Spotify's management model is built on autonomy and trust, accelerating development, emphasizing teamwork, and empowering stakeholders to have greater control over projects. Spotify's approach has proven to be successful for them. Still, there are several factors to be considered when determining whether this approach will be effective at other companies, including industry, stakeholder involvement, team size and style, organizational culture, and others. This approach to management is best suited for companies that value creativity and highly motivated employees and want to deliver products or services more frequently to the market. For example, the Spotify model is widely adopted in the engineering industry as numerous problems arise when using the traditional management model. One of the problems includes low shared awareness and visibility. Different engineering units, like production, design, and testing, are unaware of each other's real time status, which leads to misalignment. By creating small squads that handle specific subsystems like flight control and engine design, while tribes ensure alignment across them, we improve visibility and shared goals. Next, there's often poor coordination between multiple teams when utilizing traditional management methodology. Miscommunication between different teams can result in millions of dollars of rework if projects go wrong. True elements in Spotify's model, like chapters that connect specialists across teams, miscommunication is reduced. Finally, with the use of the traditional management model, it is hard to respond quickly to feedback or market needs. If new safety standards appear mid project, it's hard to adjust without major redesigns. However, with a substantial autonomy and trust culture, as exemplified in Spotify's model, teams can make quicker decisions without waiting for top down approvals, making the organization more responsive to change. However, Spotify's management approach has its own set of drawbacks. This management method sets unrealistic expectations and overly aggressive time boxing, which isn't suitable for companies with high risk projects. Short project cycles and tight deadlines might lead to high risk being overlooked without adequate risk management planning. Apart from that, this management emphasizes teamwork and collaboration, which can lead to unclear or overlapping roles and responsibilities. Conflict may arise, and critical tasks may not be completed at the required standards. So, to summarize, Spotify's model is more practical for companies that are more collaboration and teamwork centered, rather than for companies that are risk averse and focus on professional standards, such as companies in the legal industry, like law firms.